Happy Monday, everyone. I wanted to talk about a few things. First, my opinion on the 60 Minutes interview with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and the implications for crypto. I also wanted to talk about my opinion about the Department of Government Efficiency with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy as co-chairs, also known as Doge. I wanted to talk about gas prices being the lowest they've been in 3 years. And I also want to talk about China's new stimulus. And I also want to talk about my takeaway from Trump's interview with Kristen Welker over the weekend and the ramifications of that. And I thought the 60 Minutes segment with Ripple CEO Brett Garlinghouse was a little harsh, in my opinion, with crypto. We had a former SEC commissioner pretty much saying that crypto in general has no use cases and that crypto is used for fraud and illicit activity and that it should comply with security laws. But Brad Garlinghouse also was asked at the beginning of the interview about his political action committee, Fair Shake. That committee pretty much funded candidates who they thought were good on crypto causes, both Republican and Democrat, and they ended up winning 85% of their election. So crypto's a force to be reckoned with now. But the way the interview was kind of painted, it made it seem like they were simply just buying elections, and they weren't really asked. Ripple, CEO Brad Garlinghouse wasn't really asked the why, like what made them want to do this. He spoke about it a little bit, that there was a lack of clear regulatory guidance. There was barely any regulation at all. They just wanted a clear roadmap. You can't, and the SEC commissioner on the other side was pretty much saying that crypto firms and Ripple should apply to security laws. But these security laws that you're trying to apply to crypto are security laws from 1933. This is a new technology, and a lot of cryptocurrencies aren't securities. I'd say the top cryptocurrencies are commodities like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And there was no mention in the interview about Ripple defeating the SEC in a case, pretty much deeming Ripple not a security in some cases. And Ripple has strong use cases also in international cross-border payments and transactions. So there's strong use cases. And look, now with a new regulatory regime and President Trump winning, there's a new mandate in terms of how we should treat crypto going forward. So yes, crypto is a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, this piece in 60 Minutes was a little harsh in my opinion. I think the world still has to really learn about crypto as an asset class, but at least I'm happy to see this get covered on segments like 60 Minutes. On top of that, I wanted to talk about my opinion about the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as Doge, which will be run by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. So there'll definitely be a lot of hurdles with this, in my opinion. There's a lot of inertia in terms of spending in Congress, and a lot of congressmen and women don't want money going to certain projects, and it's very hard to take away spending once it's spent. Obviously, there won't be any cuts to Medicare and Social Security, so that's good news, and Trump kind of confirmed that in his interview with Kristen Welker. But I still think there's a lot of obstacles in actually getting things done. Of course, there's a lot of waste and inefficiencies in the government that I think the Department of Government Efficiency will expose, so that's good news. Look, I'm optimistic in the sense, like, I hope by exposing some of the inefficiencies and waste, things will get done. But I want to see it before I believe it, because there's a lot of inertia and hurdles for that to happen, in my opinion. But I think just having a Department of Government Efficiency and the concept and exposing some examples of fraud and inefficiency is a good first step. I also want to talk about gas prices. Gas prices are now averaging $2.97 a gallon nationally. This is the lowest price it's been in almost 3 years. And this is some progress. I expect gas prices to go down a little bit more from here, especially in the winter months. But I'm pretty optimistic, and this is something that it's good to see that energy prices starting to decline. I also want to talk about China issuing more stimulus. They're issuing more fiscal stimulus, which is really helping the Chinese stock market go up pretty substantially today, with Alibaba and JD pumping pretty hard. They haven't really issued this much stimulus in the past decade. The last few months, they were issuing like stopgap stimulus measures that seemed kind of temporary and like band-aid fixes. This seems a little bit more comprehensive. Let's wait and see if this stimulus is enough to help China's falling property sector and slowing economy. Time will tell. And then I also wanted to talk about my key takeaway from Kristen Welker's interview with President Donald Trump on Meet the Press. One of my biggest takeaways is that he said that there was a lot of fear that that Trump would pretty much tell Jerome Powell to go, and there won't be, and the fear was there wouldn't be independence of the Federal Reserve. But Trump pretty much said that no, that wouldn't be the case. He wouldn't tell Jerome Powell to go, and it seemed like he wants to keep the Federal Reserve independent as of now. And it's important that the Federal Reserve is independent from the government. So I was pretty happy and optimistic to hear that he doesn't want to remove Jerome Powell, and he wants to keep an independent Fed. Time will tell, but that was probably my biggest takeaway, because there was a lot of fear that he would remove Jerome Powell based on some earlier comments he made. But the fact that it looks like he'll keep Jerome Powell is enough to calm the financial markets right now.